Hello.
Hi, welcome back to Dad and Kids Coding, where we're doing the Advent of Code 2020, and we're on day 9. So day 9 is they call it encoding error, and basically we have a string of numbers like this, and the rule is that after the first 5 or 25, depending upon which data set it is, every number has to be the sum of two of the previous numbers. So in this case, 47, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40 is 15 plus 25. And 62, 35 doesn't count anymore, but is 47 plus 15. And 55 is 40 plus 15. And 95 is, I don't know what it is. Anyway,
I guess
40,
20 and
40 plus 55, I guess, and so on. Until we get down to 127. 127 is not the sum of any of the previous 5 numbers, any 2. So it has to be the sum of 2 different numbers in the preceding 25 numbers, or 5 in this case. So 27 is the number that's of interest because it's the first number we come to that's not the sum of 2 of its previous numbers. So, so that's what we're supposed to return. So I've already created the test case and got the puzzle input because I don't want to bore you excessively.
I don't want to bore you is code for Thomas was running around trying to control his diaphragm because he was hiccuping too much for the recording.
Yes, and I don't want to bore you too much. So here we have day 9A test, and here's the data. And this is, we're going to run the day 9A test with, or evaluation with 5 as the prefix, and that should equal 127. And then the full one, which I could show you, but it's boring, it's supposed to be the first, the preceding 25 numbers. Okay, so let's run this and see what happens. And of course, what we're going to get is that we don't understand day 9. And this is an array, so we'll create it. Create it in an array, and browse this, and put, as you have classified, put this in as an extension for Advent of Code 2020. Okay, and close this. Okay, so we're back here. Now, what have we got here? So we've got self is this array of numbers. Oh, it's not numbers, it's strings. We should probably convert them to numbers. So let's go back here and say that we'll what will we do here? So so we'll just put an extra parenthesis around this and say collect as number. Okay, so and we'll do the same thing for the other example. So collect as number. Okay, so let's just run our test, and here we get back to self should be implemented. Okay, so now the array is an array of numbers, and an integer is, this would be the let's call it the skip size. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to iterate through from position skip plus 1 to the end. So let's let's just do that. So skip plus 1 to self size do index. And we don't have to do anything after that because we're guaranteed that there will be a point where we will find a problem. So now we want to get the target number. So let's say target is self at index. And we want to look through all the preceding numbers. And okay, let's just do index minus skip to index minus 1 do let's call this IDX2, and another one index minus skip to index minus 1 do and we're only interested in doing this if index 2 is not equal to index 3, because we can't use the same number added up twice. So if that's true, then we're going to do something. Okay, so let's put that over there. So what are we going to do? If these are not, then if self at index 2 plus self at index 3 is equal to target if that's true, then let's say found true. Found is true. Okay, so we need a couple of extra things here. So let's create variable target and found. Okay, so we're going to set the target at this point, and we're going to set found to be equal to false, because so far we haven't found two numbers that add up to the target. Then we're going to loop through all the numbers. So let's just verify this. So let's say that index is 6. So skip is 5 in this case. So let's say index is 6. So index minus skip would be 6 minus 5, which is 1, to index minus 1, which is 6 minus 1, which is 5. So we're going to loop through from 1 to 5, checking. So that's the right calculation. So we have two nested loops because we want to compare all of the possible values in there. And there's things I could do to make this run more efficiently, but we're not going to worry about it. but we can't use the same index, the same number twice, so we'll make sure that they're different. And if they're different, then if the two values equal the target, then we found the value. So that's all good until we get to this point, and now we care if false. So if found, if false, then we didn't find, there was no number that added up to these two, so we should return the target. Or no, two numbers that added up to the target, so we should return this number, because that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, so let's save that, so let's proceed. And it seems to have worked. We found 127, and here is the number apparently that doesn't match. So let's fill that in here and proceed. All good. Let's go over here and fill in that answer. And it's right.
Woo! There we go, first try.
So we're one goal star closer.
Oh, damn. I flaunted too much, now I've jinxed it. This seems to be a trend in my life.
The final step in breaking the Xmas encryption relies on the invalid number you just found. You must find a contiguous set of at least two numbers in your list which sum to the invalid number from step 1. Okay, so...
Oh, now it's challenging. I hear from your tone of voice.
So once we've found that number, we need to find a contiguous set of numbers in the list which sum to that number. Okay, so in this case we add up the numbers from 15 to 40, and that adds up to 127. To find the encryption weakness, add together the smallest and the largest number in this contiguous range. In this example, these are 15 and 47, producing 62. Okay. So 62 is our target. And let's see what we can do here. So test day 9B looks very much like test day 9A, except we're doing the other test B, and we're looking for this number instead. And this is B also, and we have no idea what this is. So let's just say no. Okay, so now let's just go and look at our advent code. Actually, it's an array. So let's take the day 9A code. So day 9B is actually going to use day 9A, first of all, to find the target value that doesn't work, and then it's going to go through and try and find a sequence of numbers that match. So
we're doing a sequel, not a spinoff.
So we don't need to make a version of 9B which includes this code, because we already have this code. So we'll just go over here and just run the test. So of course we don't have a day 9B, so we'll create it in array, and we'll do the same thing as before. Browse that. Data unclassified, day 9B, extension, advent code 2020, okay.
We should have a counter for every time we input something and it doesn't count.
Okay.
We're probably at 20.
So, here let's say target
At least one per episode.
is equal to, or is assigned self day 09A with the skip value. And that's a temporary variable. Okay, So let's just step over that. And so the target is 127, so that's good. That's what we wanted it to be. Now we just have to go through and find a sequence of numbers in the list that add up to this number. So let's I guess 1, 2, self size, do, and let's call this start. And within this, we want from start plus 1 to self size do. Actually, I guess we may as well use all the values. Do index. Okay. And actually, let's just do the start to index, and let's set our count, or sum, let's call it sum. Sum is 0. And then what do we want to do here? Well, we want to say sum is assigned sum plus self at index. Okay, and now if that is equal to the target, then we found our values. So sum equal to the target, if true, then we're going to return something. What are we supposed to return? Add together the smallest and largest number in this contiguous range. Okay, so then we're going to add together self at start plus self at index. So that's the end of the range where we found the match. So sum is a temporary variable. So we'll use the code from before to find out what the target is. Then we're going to loop through potentially the whole list, looking for a starting point where we'll set sum to 0 and then iterate from that up to potentially the end of the list. And add to the sum, which started off at 0, but add to the sum the value at that position. And if the result is equal to target, then we found our list, and it goes from start to index. So we'll add together the two numbers here. So let's see if this works. So save this, we already did that, and then proceed. And it didn't. We got 55 instead of 62. That's annoying. Should have been 15 plus 47.
So how did it get to 55?
How did we get to 55 indeed? So let's restart and step over that, because we don't need to do that, step over that, and step into day 9b. Okay, so we'll step over that. And turn on the inspector. So we have the target is 127. So that seems right. And what did we do to get the right answer? We took 15 up to 40. Up to 40. Oh, the smallest and the largest numbers in the range, not the first and the last. Okay.
Oh, sorry everyone. You're probably screaming at the screen if you were paying any attention.
Okay.
Sorry, we like to imagine our viewers captivated at our stunning commentary.
So let's, Okay, so let's say smallest and largest. And, okay, so that's easy enough to do. We'll just set both of them. Smallest is equal to largest is equal to self at start. So we'll assume that that first one was the list has to start at that point. So we'll assume that those are the largest and the smallest. And then in here, we'll choose the largest so far. So let's just say, let's put this in a variable. So V is assigned this, and then we'll say V is less than smallest, if true. V smallest is assigned V. And I'm just going to change the, so if smallest is larger than V. Just going to change the way we say it. And if smallest, if largest is less than V, if true, then set largest to V. And then this should just be smallest plus largest. Okay. Oops, what did I do wrong? Oh, this should have been plus B. Okay. Proceed. And we got 62, and we got this number as our potentially our final result. Save, proceed, and let's go over here and see whether we got the right answer or not. And we did.
Woo!
Excellent.
Faster than Desert Storm.
Many things are faster than Desert Storm, Thomas. Okay, so here we are. We're done. So everything's good. Let's just look at the repository and see what we have to commit here. So we have day 9A, day 9B, data for day 9, and the 2 test cases. And that's all the code we wrote. So finished day 9, 2 stars. And we'll push it to the origin. Commit and pushing. And reload here, and we, oops, yeah. And 17 seconds go, done. So we're done. And so we're back to, we've done day 9, we're still 2 days behind, and in 16 minutes we're going to have a third one, so we're going to be 3 days behind. So
yeah, hopefully we can catch up on the weekend.
Yeah, hopefully we can catch up on the weekend, so that we, and I don't know whether you've noticed, but there's this interesting image happening over here. Not quite sure what it is, but it'll just present itself in the fullness of time.
I guess it's the Earth.
Okay, so thanks very much for joining us again, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye bye.